Today I want to talk about Marvel and the MCU's upcoming Thunderbolts movie. Now, it has been announced that due to the writer's strike, Marvel is having to stop production on the Thunderbolts. It's been postponed indefinitely, obviously, until the writer's strikes has come to an end. But this is going to have more of a knock-on effect for Marvel in the MCU than what most other film productions will suffer due to the writer's strike, as standalone films will just be pushed back and come out a few months later. But with Marvel, that's not the case. They are going to have to postpone this movie and either reshuffle others that they have lined up and ready to go, or postpone and push back other movies and TV shows if they have them ready to go, as this is one of the problems with the MCU. It's all interconnected, and one issue leads to another issue, which can very quickly snowball and lead to many other issues. I do think this is going to come as a bit of a blow to Disney, as they aren't having a great time at the moment. They're having a lot of troubles, and this is just going to add to them. The last lot of MCU movies haven't performed as well as I was hoping. I have heard the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie was good, but I haven't bothered to see it. I pretty much checked out after Endgame. But on top of the movies not doing great, the TV shows have progressively gotten worse. The Echo TV show apparently had to be completely reshot because the original was just unsalvageable, and Kevin Feige said it was unwatchable. And I don't think Marvel have any faith in that show, which is why it's been announced it is getting all dropped on Disney Plus all at once rather than weekly. But I just want to quickly have a look at this article. Marvel forced to shut down production on major MCU movie. Not many films have been affected by the Writers Guild of America strike, but Marvel has now had to suspend production on yet another major MCU movie. From the moment the writers' strike began on May 2nd, all eyes have been on how the strike would affect television shows, and understandably so. However, the repercussions of the writers' strike are now beginning to be felt by major movie studios, including Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios was among the first to be affected by the writers' strike, with the brand having to delay production on the upcoming Blade film. Filming on the film, starring Mahershala Ali, was originally slated to begin in June. Instead, Marvel was forced to shut down production, making it the first MCU project to be directly delayed by the strike. Now it seems the studio is having to shut down production on yet another film as a result of the strike, with Deadline reporting the production on Thunderbolts has officially been delayed. Originally, Marvel was scheduled to begin production on Thunderbolts in mid-June, with filming slated to kick off in Atlanta. When reports surfaced that production on Blade had been shut down, it was reported no other MCU film was impacted at the time, but that has now changed. Instead of beginning filming in Atlanta in June, Thunderbolts production has been delayed, with the plan to not begin filming until after the writer's strike ends. As such, there is no updated end for when the film will begin filming, meaning an extended delay could be ahead for the film's schedule. If filming on Thunderbolts is pushed back by an extended time, there is a chance Disney will have to shift the film's release date, which is currently set for July 26, 2024. Just how far back the movie might have to be shifted remains to be seen, and will determine heavily on how long the writer's strike lasts. The last major writer's strike took place in 2007 and lasted 100 days. If the current strike lasts as long or longer than the 2007 strike, there is a potential that filming on Thunderbolts won't begin until after fall, which most certainly would likely lead to the film's release date being shifted. So the film is still going ahead, that is not in any dispute, but the writer's strike is having an effect on when it can start. Now, I'm not an expert in writing and production side of TV and movies, but if the script was ready to go, then surely I would assume it would be able to start filming. Yes, I know rewrites happen a lot and they do happen on set, but if they do have a script which they are generally happy with, surely some of the production could go ahead now, which does set me a little bit that maybe the script for this film isn't as tight or as well refined as it should be before filming starts, and that they need writers on set to adjust it accordingly. I mean, that may not be the case, that is just me having a guess. Like I say, I'm not an expert in this. But whether this will have a knock-on effect to other MCU films will remain to be seen. It does say that it is the second film affected by the writer's strike, with Blade being the first one. So that's 2 movies now in Phase 5 which is affected and could potentially be pushed back. Now personally, I'm not really bothered if they do get pushed back. Like I say, I pretty much checked out after Endgame. That was for me, where the MCU should have finished. But as we know, the MCU was making a ton of money at the time, constantly making billion-dollar movies. But then after Endgame, I think the only movie to make $1 billion was Spider-Man No Way Home, which was a joint production between Marvel and Sony. As we know, the Phase 4 films have been underwhelming and not as well received as Phases 1 to 3, and Phase 5 kicking off with Ant-Man and Quantumania. That done poorly at the box office, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, as I said, is supposedly a really good film. I've not seen it, but that is pretty much the last of the big hitters from Phase 1, 2 and 3. From now on, it is mostly new characters which a lot of people don't have interest in. On top of that, you've got the endless amount of Disney Plus shows, and the quality of these shows are getting worse. The usage of CGI on these shows is getting worse, and the quality is lacking, and it is showing. Now, I know the VFX artists are under a lot of pressure. They are spread too thin. It is not their fault. It is Disney and Marvel's fault for pushing out as much stuff as they can. But this delay might actually help Marvel a little bit. They could take a bit more time in post-production, get any effects better for the stuff they've got done, and you might see an improvement of quality there. But then again, once the writer's strike ends and production on all these restart up again, they might decide to rush through them and have a huge different quality again like they have in Phase 4, and doesn't look like Phase 5 is improving. So we don't know when production of the Thunderbolts will begin again, as we don't know how long this writer's strike is going to last for. But what do you guys think? Do you think this halt in production of MCU projects is going to hurt the MCU or help it improve a little bit? Do let me know in the comments below. And that's all from me. I'll have to make a fresh cup of tea.